Well, good morning. Here I am again. I was attempting to run a stream a while ago, but my computer was being a bit, what would I say, temperamental, in that it's running kind of slow. I think I've got too much going on with my computer right now, so it's slowing her down. But we will be getting into this game briefly. If you'll see, we have the Pittsburgh Pirates visiting the San Francisco Giants in this game. The Pirates are red hot, playing an extremely great season in this replay. If you'll remember, in '79, that was a World Series winning season for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And so we're going to be going into this game today. This is the first game of a 3-game set with the San Francisco Giants. If you'll look at your standings, the Pirates are 42-17. Winners of one straight, I guess if you can say one straight. They had lost, they won 2 of 3 against the Dodgers. Now we're in San Francisco, still on the West Coast, and the Pirates will be facing the Giants, who are 29-37 and losers of 4 straight. John Candelario will be on the mound for the Pirates. Candelario is having an excellent replay. He's 8-0 with a 2.36 ERA and a 1.07 WHIP. His counterpart will be John Montefiusco, who is 1-3 on the season with a 4.85 ERA and a 1.48 WHIP. So that's the tale of the tape of what we got going on. Quickly, just go through the starting lineups for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Omar Moreno leading off in center field. Tim Foley batting second at short. Dave Parker in right field batting third. Willie Stargell playing first, batting fourth. Bill Robinson in left field at the 5th spot. Ed Ott catching. And in the 6th spot, Phil Garner in the 7th spot at third base, and Rennie Stennett at second base. And again, we're in the National League, so Candelario will be swinging the bat. And I will give the lineup for the Giants as we get into this game. I will be keeping score on replay, but this will be using Payoff Pitch, and this will be our setup for the game. I'll be doing, I don't know why I'm got that up. We don't need that because I'm going to be doing dice rolls manually and not using the Dice Roller app. So this is what you'll be seeing while I'll be inputting it into PC Replay.
Replay Radio is live from San Francisco. Top of the first.
So leading off for the Pittsburgh Pirates will be Omar Moreno going up against Joe Montefiusco. Montefiusco toes the rubber, gets the signal. Here's the pitch. That'll be a tough 65 to Moreno. He grounded to short. LeMaster up with it over to first for the 6-3 put out, and out number 1 as Tim Foley steps to the plate. Foley in this replay is batting .292 with 14 RBIs. No home runs, but swinging the bat well. Foley steps in. One thing I like about Foley's card, he's difficult to strike out in the tough column. He only strikes out with a right-hander from 1 to 9. So here's the pitch. And again, it will be a tough 0-5, and he does just get in underneath that strikeout column, and he strikes him out. Foley goes down swinging. A rare strikeout from Tim Foley as Montefusco strikes him out. That'll bring Dave Parker to the plate. Parker's doing it all for the Pirates so far in this replay. Batting .336 with 17 home runs and 62 RBIs with a .402 on-base percentage. Parker is playing lights-out baseball, but here's the pitch from Montefusco to Parker. Again, it's a tough 51, but for Dave Parker, that will be a ball blooped into right field, so he will get a 2-out single, and we have a runner on here in the top of the first as Willie Stargell steps to the plate. Stargell has been splitting time. He will not play every game. He does come in and pinch hit because in 1979, Stargell was at the end of his career. The 39-year-old Stargell, whoops, messed up something there. I've already had him hitting. There we go. Was at the twilight of his career, and that championship in 79, I'm sure, done him well. Here's a pitch from Montefusco to Stargell. It's a tough 87, and that's a ground ball to second. Andrews up with it over to first for the 4-3 put out, and one hit, one left on, no runs as we go to the bottom of the first as John Candelaria warms up. Billy North takes his cuts in the batter's box. Getting out of screen there. Just want to make sure I'm where I need to be. So Billy North steps to the plate. Bill North in this replay is batting .280 with 19 RBIs and 2 home runs. Candelaria gets the signal from Ott. Here's the pitch. That's an in-play 71 to Billy North. He grounds it to short. Foley up with it over to first to Stargell for the 6-3 put out. And out number 1 as Rob Andrews steps to the plate. Andrews in this replay is batting .341 with 5 RBIs. So he doesn't hit for power, but he's batting .341 with a .388 on base percentage. Here's the pitch from Candelaria as Andrews digs in against the lefty. It's going to be an in-play 96. That's a fly ball into left field. Bill Robinson backing up, but not too deep as he settles under it. Squeezes it for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down as Jack Clark steps to the plate. Clark during this replay is batting .296 with 15 home runs and 52 runs driven in with a 377 OBP. Candelaria looking at Clark. Gets a signal from Ott. Brings the pitch. And it's a ballpark 60. Let's take a look at Candlestick. Oops, wrong button there. Candlestick to a right-handed batter is 1-55. So it will be an in-play roll for Jack Clark. So let's roll the dice. Look at his in-play. It's a 43. In-play 43. That'll be a pop-up to short. Foley settling underneath the high pop-up for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down for John Candelaria as we go to the second with our score knotted up at 0. And Willie McCovey, Bill Robinson stepping to the plate. I need to switch my teams out here. As Montefusco steps back to the mound, Bill Robinson steps up to the plate. Here's the pitch from Montefusco. And I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I believe I am. And he's been throwing toughs all day so far. And he strikes out Robinson. Robinson takes the walk of shame back to the dugout as Ed Ott steps in. Ott on this replay is batting .290 with 2 home runs and 16 runs driven in. Ott platoons at the catcher spot, so he's had 145 at-bats so far in the season. Here's the pitch to Ott. As Hill gives a signal, Montefusco brings the pitch. It's a patient 75. That's a fly ball to center field. Bill North settling underneath it, squeezes it for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down. As Phil Garner steps to the plate. Garner in this replay is batting .324 with 6 home runs and 22 RBIs. So swinging the bat well is Garner. Here's the pitch to Garner. That's a patient 19 to Phil Garner, and he gets the free pass as Montefusco walks Garner. Garner's standing on first. No threat to steal as Garner takes a short lead. Rennie Stennett steps in. Stennett on this replay is batting .244 with a home run and 17 RBIs. John Montefusco gets the signal from Hill. Rennie Stennett digging in as the pitch is delivered. That's going to be a wheelhouse 0-6 to Rennie Stennett. Unfortunately for Stennett, no pop in his bat, but he will be on with a 2-out single and standing on first. As John Candelaria comes to the plate, batting on the number 5 pitcher hitting card. So we'll see if we can get anything done with Candelaria. Highly unlikely, but who knows? In this replay, Candelaria is batting .207. He's 6 for 29 with an RBI and 3 strikeouts. So the Candyman's swinging the bat fairly well in this replay. Here's the pitch. Montefusco gets the signal from Hill, brings it to his counterpart. That's an in-play 49. That'll be a ground ball to third. Evans up with it. Over to McCovey. for out number 3. And we go to the bottom of the second. Still scoreless here in San Francisco, as Willie McCovey makes his way to the batter's box. Candelaria getting a few tosses in. McCovey steps in. Ott gives a signal. Candelaria shakes off a few, gets what he wants, delivers the pitch, and McCovey digging in. This will be our first defensive check. Let's take a look at the ballpark card. The roll of 49. There is a possibility of an error. And it's going to be on the pitcher. He is a 5, so very good on the mound. So it's hit sharply to Candelaria, but Candelaria snags it. I'm going to make sure I'm reading that right. Yeah, only 1-22. It's an error. So Candelaria up with it over to first. Great grab by Candelaria as it's a 1-3 put out for out number 1. Hit sharply, but played well by the Candyman. That'll bring Larry Herndon to the plate. Herndon in this replay is batting .245 with 2 home runs and 11 RBIs. What I'm doing during this replay, I am, in all the games, I'm rolling for the Pirates. It's payoff pitch, but for all the other games, I'm using the PC replay engine to record those games. So that's how we're playing them out. Here's the pitch from Candelaria. That's an in play, 77. That'll be a fly ball to center field. Omar Marino under it for the easy fly out for out number 2. And that'll bring Darrell Evans to the plate. So far, it's been a pitcher's duel in these 2 innings. As Evans comes up, Evans in 79 batted .253. In our replay, he's batting .267 with 9 home runs and 34 RBIs. So swinging a little better than his average in 79. He steps in. Candelaria gets this signal from Ott. Here's the pitch. This will be a patient 72 to Darrell Evans. And from a lefty, that's well above. If it had been a righty, it was only 1 pip of the die, or number of the die high. But it will be a fly ball again to center field, keeping Marino busy. Takes a few steps over for out number 3 with the F8 put out. And we go to the bottom, to the 3rd with our score knotted up at 0. Montefusco stepping to the mound, getting the call from Hill, getting his signals. Settles in. Marino back to the plate. Here's the pitch. That's a tough 33 to Omar Marino from the righty. That'll be a strikeout. He strikes him out as Marino goes back to the dugout. And that long walk of shame. He struck him out. That'll bring Tim Foley to the plate. Foley struck out his last time up as Montefusco brings the pitch. That's going to be a tough But with Foley, he fights off that tough pitch, and the line drives it into center field for a one-out single. Foley is standing on first. As Dave Parker steps to the plate, San Francisco will be at double play depth. It's going to be difficult. Parker's a 5 on the double play, so it'll be tough getting the double play on Dave Parker, but here is the pitch. And it's going to be an in play, 43 to Parker. And he's going to pop it up to second. Good pitch by Montefusco causes Parker to pop it up to the second baseman Andrews for out number 2. And that'll bring Willie Stargell to the plate with a man on first. 2 outs. Montefusco looking at Stargell. Gets the signal from Hill. Here's the pitch. It's a tough 25. And down goes Stargell. He strikes him out. That's going to be the 4th strikeout for Montefusco. As he's pitching well, Stargell takes his long walk back to the dugout. As Candelaria back on the mound as Johnny LeMaster steps to the plate. LeMaster on the season is batting .287 with a home run and 7 RBIs. Candelaria getting the signal from Ott. LeMaster's digging into the box. It's going to be a ballpark, 67. Again, I believe that's going to be to the right-hander. That's going to be to his in-play section. In play to LeMaster. In play 38 to Johnny LeMaster. That's going to be a pop-up to short. For out number 1. Pop-up at the second, excuse me. As Stennett settles underneath it for the P4 putout. That'll bring Mark Hill to the plate. Hill in this replay, this 79 replay, is batting 237 with 2 home runs and 14 RBIs. As Hill steps in, Candelaria goes to the belt. Here's the pitch. That's an in play, 46. It's grounded to third. Garner up with it. Over to first for the 5-3 putout. 2 up, 2 down. And that'll bring Montefusco to the plate. Montefusco also hits off the number 5 hitter card. As Candelaria looks at his counterpart, gets his signals from Ott. Here's the pitch. It's going to be a tough 64, and he strikes him out. Another 3 up, 3 down as we go to the 4th with our game still scoreless here in San Francisco. Candelaria pitching a gem so far, as is Montefusco. As Bill Robinson steps to the plate. Robinson in this replay, I don't believe I mentioned it his first time up. He struck out his first time up, but in this replay, he's batting .274 with 14 home runs and 38 RBIs. Montefusco gets the signal from Hill. Here's the pitch. Robinson stepping in. It's going to be a tough 73. It's going to be a fly ball to center field. Bill North underneath it. Takes a few steps over, squeezes it for the F8 putout, and out number 1 as Ed Ott steps to the plate. Ott, his first time out, flew out to center field as He steps in. Montefusco goes into his windup. Here's the pitch. That's an in play, 62 to Ed Ott. Grounded to short. LeMaster up with it. Over to McCovey for the 6-3 put out. And out number 2 as Phil Garner makes his way to the plate. Montefusco pitching well. Garner reached on a walk his first time up. See if he can make it back on the base pass this time as the pitch comes from Montefusco. This time it's going to be a defensive check on a range check on the right fielder. See, my right fielder is Jack Clark. Let's take a look at where he is at. Range of D. Is a 53. His range is a D1 to 53, and it's a hit. And it just gets by his outreach glove because it is a roll of 53. Clark cannot get to it. And he will get it in quickly and hold Garner to a single. But that'll be a 2-out single by Phil Garner as it gets by the glove of Jack Clark. And Rennie Stennett steps back in with a runner on first. Garner could still, if he... No, not with that F rating. He's not 2 outs. So Stennett steps in. Stennett, his first time up, singled. So let's look if he can keep the hit parade going as Stennett steps in. Montefusco delivers. That's an in play, 75, and that's going to be too high as he again lifts it into center field. North takes a few steps back, settles underneath it for out number 3 in the F8 put out, and we go to the bottom of the 4th with our game still scoreless as Billy North walks to the plate. Candelaria pitching a gem here so far. North grounded to short his first time up. Candelaria with the pitch as he gets the signal from Ott. That's an in play, 71. It's going to be a ground ball to short. Foley up with it. Over to first for the 6-3 put out. And out number 1 as Rob Andrews makes his way to the plate. Candelaria bearing down, keeping his focus as he's getting the signal from Ott. Andrews steps in to the batter's box. Andrews flew out the left field his first time up. Here's the pitch from Candelaria. It's an in play, 76. That'll be a fly ball to Marino in center field. Marino ranges over toward Dave Parker, waves him off, and squeezes it for the F8 put out. 2 up, 2 down as Jack Clark steps to the plate. Candelaria bearing down as Clark digs in. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a tough 18 to Jack Clark, and he strikes him out. Clark goes down swinging. 3 up, 3 down. And we go to the 5th with our game still scoreless here in San Francisco as the fantastic pitching of Candelaria and the steady pitching in Montefusco have us scoreless as Candelaria steps to the plate here in the top of the 5th. Here's the pitch from Montefusco. And that will be a tough 37. He strikes him out as he strikes out his counterpart. That'll bring Omar Marino back to the plate, just hoping to get on. Check something here for a second. It'll be tough stealing on Hill. He's got a 2-arm, but Marino wanting to get the opportunity. Here's the pitch from Montefusco. Marino stepping in. Can he just get on base? That's going to be a defensive check on the first baseman. McCovey at first. He's got an E rating of 2. That's not great. A roll of 63. E rating of 2. 1-69. That's going to be an error. That's going to be an error on McCovey. It's going to be a 1-base error, so it will be an E3. As Marino reaches on the error, he can steal if he likes, but I'm not sure. One of my house rules is if I usually only send them if they have a very good or excellent chance, and this chance is normal, so he'll stay where he's at as Tim Foley steps to the plate. Foley stepping in. Here's the pitch from Montefusco. Marino on first. It's going to be an in-play 22 to Tim Foley. That could be trouble. It is, as he is hit an opposite field liner into right field. And that will move Marino all the way over to third with the running in at 8. So we have runners on the corner with 1 out. And the first threat in this game as Dave Parker steps to the plate. Parker, his first time up. Well, actually, he's batted twice. He's 1 for 2. He's with a single and a pop up to second. Runners on the corners. Montefusco getting the signal from Hill, telling him to settle down, try to get a double play ball. That'll be difficult with Parker. That will not be happening, as this is a ballpark 94, and that's going to be his in-play roll. So let's see what we got here. To Dave Parker, in-play 44. That's going to be a ground ball to first. And he will toss it over to second to get the lead runner, forcing him out. But the speedy Marino will score from third. So we have the first score of the game as Dave Parker drives in the speedy Marino. So now we have 2 outs, Parker on first, and Stargell stepping up to the plate. Montefusco with the pitch. That's a patient 20 to Willie Stargell, and he will walk Stargell. So with 2 outs, we have runners on first and second with a run across for the Pirates as Bill Robinson steps to the plate. Robinson on the day, excuse me, is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and flying out to center field. Let's see if he can get anything going here in the 5th as a run has come across. That's a ballpark 97 again. That's going to be in play to Bill Robinson. That 72 is going to be too high as he flies out to center field, north, underneath it for the F8 putout. And we'll go to the bottom of the fifth, but a run did come across as the Pirates now lead 1-0. That'll bring Willie McCovey back to the plate, facing off against Candelaria here in the fifth. Bottom of the fifth, Candelaria takes the signal from Ott. Here's a pitch to McCovey. It's a wheelhouse, 77 to McCovey. McCovey's has been given something to hit, but he can't do anything with it. He lifts it, he hits it deep. Marino back to the warning track, but not deep enough for the F8 putout. And out number one is McCovey took that one for a ride, but not far enough for out number one. And Larry Herndon steps to the plate. Candelaria to the belt. Here's the pitch to Herndon. Again, it's a ballpark this time. It's a 26. This will be a wheelhouse check for Herndon. Here's the pitch to Herndon. It's a wheelhouse 26 to the lefty. That will be a double as the no-hitter goes out the window with a double by Larry Herndon here in the bottom of the fifth. So we now have a runner on second for the Giants as Darrell Evans steps to the plate. Evans stepping in so far on the day. He's 0 for 1 with a fly out to center field. As Candelaria shakes his head, knowing he missed the opportunity for the no-hitter by leaving that ball up for Herndon to double on. It's an in-play 62. It's going to be a ground ball to short. Let's see what's Herndon run at. That will move Herndon over to third. So with 2 outs, we got a runner on third, 90 feet away from tying this game up, and Johnny LeMaster stepping to the plate. LeMaster, his first time up, popped up to second. He's wanting to make a little better contact this time as Candelaria toes the rubber, gets the signal from Ott. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a wheelhouse, another one left up for the batter to do something with, but LeMaster pulls it hard into left field. He takes Robinson back to the warning track, to the wall, but not deep enough for out number 3 and the F7 put out. So we go to the 6th with our score. Pittsburgh 1, San Francisco 0. It's Montefusco pitching well, allowing only 1 run on 5 hits. Here's the pitch as Ott gives a signal. Montefusco steps in. That's a tough 91. This will be a ground ball to second. Andrews up with it. Over to McCovey for out number 1. As Phil Garner steps to the plate. Garner on the day is walked in a single, so he's been on base both times today. As Garner steps in, Montefusco with the pitch. That's an in-play 10 for Phil Garner. And Garner's going to take that ball and he's going to hit it into the corner for a one-out triple. Phil Garner is legging it out, and he's all the way to third base with one out. A runner 90 feet away from another run for the Pirates as Garner hit that one sharply into the corner in left field. Herndon got it in, but not in time. As Garner's hit it into right field to Clark. Clark could not get it in as Garner slid under the tag. Montefusco looks over at Garner, eyes Stinnett. Here's the pitch. That's a patient 24 for Rennie Stinnett. So he walks Stinnett. Stinnett gets the free pass. We now have runners on the corner with one out. And Candelaria stepping to the plate. I think Candelaria will swing away here. I don't know about squeeze bunting with Candelaria. He can sacrifice, but what would that look like? All right, what is Garner's run rating? He is a 7. So we're going to attempt to squeeze. So here's the roll. In the D column, it's got to be a 25 to 87. We got that. In the 18. No, I don't. It's just going to be the lead result. They're going to get Garner at home. So Candelaria does a poor job of laying down the bunt. It'll be the bunt. Lead runner at home is out. And it was hit to the pitcher. So a good job played by Montefusco for the out. And a poor bunt laid down by Candelaria. But we do have runners on first and second as the squeeze bunt did not work. I knew I probably shouldn't have tried that, but I tried it anyhow, and it blew up in my face. Montefusco now with the pitch. Runners on first and second. 2 outs. Pitch to needs to be Marino. Pitch to Marino. It's a patient 54 to Omar Marino from the right-hander. It's grounded to third. Evans up with it. Over to first for the 5-3 put out. And with that blown chance, we still have a 1-run game here in San Francisco as Candelaria steps back on the mound. Hill steps up to the plate. Here's the pitch to Hill. Candelaria hoping to get out of this inning unscathed. That's an in-play 45. It's a ground ball to third. Garner up with it. over to first to Stargell for the 5-3 put out for out number 1. And Montefusco up to the plate. I think at this time, Montefusco's day is going to be over. San Francisco needs some runs. Who do I bring in against the lefty? I need to bring in a good righty. Actually, Whitfield hits better against the righties than he does lefty. That's who I'll bring in. He is a lefty, but he hits righties better. Well, that's not what I want. What am I thinking? Bring in a right-hander. I'll bring Mike Ivy in, batting .265 as a right-hander. Bring in the pinch hitter. Candelaria looking at Ivy. Gets a signal from Ott. Here's the pitch. In play, 56 to Ivy. It's a fly ball into right field. I think this is the first time I've called Parker's name in the field as he ranges underneath it for the F9 put out and out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th as Billy North steps to the plate. North on the day is 0 for 2, grounding out to short both times. Here's the pitch. That's a tough 20 to Billy North. He strikes him out. 3 up, 3 down, and we go to the 7th with the Pirates up 1-0 here in San Francisco. Now I got to find a new pitcher here. For San Francisco. I think I will bring Minton in because a lot of left-handers in the Pittsburgh lineup. So Minton will come in, the right-hander will come in to face Tim Foley, the right-hander. Minton, after a few warm-up tosses, gets the signal from Hill. Here's the pitch to Foley. It's going to be a defensive check. It's a defensive rare play check. Ooh, this don't come up often for me. Defensive rare play on a roll of 11. Fielder makes highlight reel catch while falling into dugout stand. Batter out, runners hold. And who is my fielder on that? Let's see. This will be my first baseman, McCovey. McCovey makes a highlight grab for the F. 3 put out. Highlight reel grab, defensive rare play. First time that's occurred for me in any of these games. Did say check for error, but I'm not going to do that. McCovey's probably pretty prone. It's going to be a tough 0-5, and he strikes out Parker for out number 2. As Willie Stargell steps to the plate. Stargell on the day is hitless, but he did reach on a base on balls his last time up. Here's the pitch to Stargell. That's a patient 22 to Willie Stargell. And again, he gets a free pass as Minton walks Stargell. So with 2 outs, we have a runner on first. And Bill Robinson stepping to the plate. Robinson's hitless on the day with a strikeout and 2 flyouts to center field. Here's the pitch to Robinson. Minton digging in. That's a tough 41 to Bill Robinson from the right-hander. That'll strike him out as he goes back to the dugout, grabs his glove, and heads out to the field. And we go to the bottom of the 7th. Pittsburgh up 1-0 on the San Francisco Giants as Billy North. Rob Andrews steps to the plate. Andrews stepping up as Candelaria takes the signal from Ed Ott. Andrews flew out to both times up. Here's Ott's signal, Candelaria's pitch. Andrews taking a cut at it. It's going to be a tough 79. And he grounds it to short. Foley up with it, over to first for the 6-3 put out, and out number 1 here in the bottom of the 7th. As Jack Clark steps to the plate. Clark on the day is popped up to short and struck out 0 for 2, so hopes to get something going here in the bottom of the 7th. Clark steps in, Candelaria delivers the pitch. It's going to be an in play, 63. It's going to be a ground ball to second. Rennie Stennett up with it. Over to Stargell for the 4-3 put out. And out number 2 as Jack Clark goes back to the dugout, hitless on the day. And that brings up the old man, Willie McCovey, 79. McCovey was 41 years old in the twilight of his career. Here's the pitch to McCovey. Candelaria bearing down. That's an in play, 75. That's going to be a fly ball to Marino in center field. He takes a few steps in, settles underneath it for out number 3 in the F8 put out. 3 up, 3 down. And we go to the 8th. Score still 1-0. Pittsburgh. It's going to bring Minton back on the mound. Minton will probably, if he holds true, will probably see this into the 9th, unless they pinch hit for him. And that's a possibility. But Minton toes the rubber as Ott steps in. Here is the pitch. That's a tough 30, and he strikes him out. As Ed Ott goes down swinging, hanging his head low as he goes back to the dugout. Phil Garner stepping to the plate. Minton gets the signal, shakes off Hill, gets what he likes, brings the pitch. Again, it's a tough 86. This will be a ground ball to short. LeMaster up with it. Over to McCovey. 6-3 put out. For out number 2. As Rennie Stennett steps in. Stennett looking to take his cuts as Minton brings the pitch. That's an in play, 84. It's ground ball again to LeMaster at short. Up with it, over to McCovey for the 6-3 put out. 3 up, 3 down, and we go to the bottom of the 8th. With Pittsburgh still up, 1-0. And Candelaria still on the mound for the Pirates. As Herndon steps in. Here's the pitch to Herndon from Candelaria. That's a tough 51. And that will be a single by Herndon as he takes that offering and bloops it into right field. Herndon on first with a leadoff single, and that'll bring Darrell Evans. Will be difficult to swing the double play as he's got a 5 double play rating. No chance in that. It's a tough 76. That's a fly ball into center field. That tough roll will not allow Herndon to advance on the F8. For out number 1. Now that will bring LeMaster to the plate. Still at double play depth. It's Candelaria brings the pitch. 1 out, 1 on. That's an in play 40 for LeMaster. That's a ground ball to third. That will move Herndon over to second as the 5-3 put out moves Herndon into scoring position as Mark Hill steps to the plate. Hill against lefties bats .208. I think in this position they're going to pinch hit for Hill. See if we can bring in a better right-hand hitter. I think Madlock would probably be better suited here. And I'll just have to bring in another catcher next inning. And that will be Madlock. No, Matlock's not a catcher. It says he plays 3, 4, and 5. All right. Matlock comes in for Hill. Here in the bottom of the 8th. With a runner on second. Matlock steps in. Candelaria takes the signal from Ott. It's going to be a defensive check, but that 95 is going to be way too high for it to be a problem for anybody. It's a range check on the center fielder. Marino has pretty good range. He's going to go back to the warning track as Matlock took it deep, but not deep enough as Marino settles underneath it for the F8 put out. And out number 3. So that'll bring, let me put a new catcher in for. Guess it's going to be Sadek. Now, let me check his arm rating, as he is now in the game. No, he's got a weak arm. That's just what the doctor ordered. For the Pirates. Candelaria is first up here in the ninth, and I think I'm going to leave him in. I don't want to pull him because he's pitched a two-hitter. Menton pitching to Candelaria. Taking a risk here. It's an in play. 48. It's going to be a ground ball to third. Evans up with it. Over to first. For the 5-3 put out. And out number one. Here in the top of the ninth. With the Pirates up 1-0 in this pitcher's duel. As Minton steps on the rubber, Marino steps in. Here's the pitch. That's an in play, 76. It'd been nice to get him on, but he does not. As he flies out to center field, north, underneath it, for out number 2 with the F8 put out. That'll bring Foley to the plate. Foley stepping up. Menton digging in on the mound. Here's the pitch. That's a tough 31 to Foley. And Foley takes that tough offering and drops it into right field for a 2-out single. Foley is on. No threat to steal. As Parker steps up, Menton looking to pitch himself out of this as we have a runner on and Parker to the plate. That's an in play at 82. It's a deep fly ball into center field, north, going back to the warning track. He settles underneath it as it's not deep enough for the F8 put out. And we go to the bottom of the ninth. With this game, anybody's game, with only a 1-run lead by the Pirates as Candelaria goes to the mound. As Menton steps up, of course, Menton will not be hitting, as they're going to bring in the switch hitter Metzger, I imagine. Roger Metzger will be stepping in. No, he's 219. He ain't going to be stepping in. Maybe Cruz. And nobody's great. Let's look at Venable. Venable or Whitfield. Whitfield's 244. That's the highest so far. Venable. Yeah, it's going to be Whitfield. Nobody's great, but it will be Whitfield stepping in. Just don't have a whole lot on the bench to come in and pinch hit in this situation. Candelaria gets the signal from Ott. Here's the pitch. It's a ballpark, but it's a ballpark 92 to Whitfield. He's got the pitch. It was given to him, but he hits it deep into right field. Parker back to the warning track, but not deep enough for the F9 put out and out number 1. That'll bring Billy North to the plate. North bats well against lefties. .356 on the season in 79. Candelaria is still pitching well. Here's the pitch from the Candyman. That's a patient 17, and he walks North, so he puts a runner on. That's just what he didn't want to do, but that'll bring Rob Andrews up there at double play depth. And Rob Andrews is an 8, so anything 8 and under is a chance for a double play. But North takes a short lead as Candelaria brings the pitch. That is a ballpark 60. This could be trouble. Let me check that card again. He's a right-handed batter, though. That's going to be an in-play roll. Because he's against a lefty, he's going to be hitting from the right-hand side. So that's going to be an in-play roll for Andrews. Here's the roll in play, 23 for Andrews against a lefty, and that will be a single by Andrews. It's a line drive into center field that will move North over to second. So with 1 out, we have runners on first and second, and Jack Clark, the dangerous Jack Clark, stepping to the plate. Can Candelaria pitch himself out of this? We'll let him face Clark, but this may be a mistake on my part. But here is the pitch from Candelaria. Again, it's going to be a defensive check. It's going to be a range check on the third baseman. And if I remember right, Foley does not have a good card on that. He's a C range. So 1 to 43, it's going to be a hit. And that's a 31. And we got trouble here. That is going to be a double. And a double with two stars. That we may have a walk-off here. Let me check that. Where's my glossary for that? Where is my... Here it is. Double, 2 stars. Line shot down the line, into all runners score. He has walked it off. Jack Clark has hit one down in the corner in left field that Robinson had trouble fielding, got past Garner into the corner, and it's a double plus. And that's our ball games, folks. Left Candelaria in there one batter too long, and that great game by Candelaria hands him his first loss. As Jack Clark is the man, is the player of the game as he walks it off here in San Francisco. What an ending to this game as we close it out here in San Francisco. Hope you enjoyed the game. What an ending to this game between San Francisco and Pittsburgh, as Pittsburgh is handed the loss and San Francisco is celebrating as Jack Clark is being pounded to death on his back at home plate.